the way that Arsenal conceded both the goals, right? The Matty Cash one, right? Honestly, it's very poor defending.
They forgot about him. It's crazy. They forgot about the right back. Like, he was left with so much space. He took the shot and unfortunately it went through the keeper's legs.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Football Kaki. I'm your host Helder and I'm joined by my fellow Kaki bro, Ned. Ned, how you doing, bro?
That's good. 2 weeks in a row. Okay, so I'm going on vacation soon. In fact, I'm leaving in like 3 days.
Where are you going?
Going to Japan, going to Tokyo.
Wow, nice. Okay. Is winter time there now, right? Correct.
Dude, they say it might like randomly snow in Tokyo at this point.
But seeing snow as a Singaporean is a relatively nice feeling.
Yeah, I guess.
It is nice.
Yeah.
It is nice. Right? Just don't be an idiot like me, right? Where you go and purposely like I want touch the snow, then you forget that it's ice. Then you put your hand.
No
in, like,
gloves,
thing,
just
right?
raw dogging it.
You just take out the glove, then you raw dog, then you just take it, then you throw it. Like, okay, never mind. I will not do that next time.
It's okay.
But that was like a very long time ago when I went to the US.
Hell yeah.
During winter.
Hell yeah.
I started playing a new game just now.
What was it?
And it's called the Alters. So basically, not to spoil, it's a science thing where it involves like cloning and trying to get like a scientific mission, right?
Okay.
I spent like a lot of hours trying to do everything, and then you have to finish this task before a stipulated time.
Yeah.
I overread it. I lost 3 hours worth of data because
God.
I had to load back the thing. Then I was like, I need to do it again. Then I just stopped for a while. It's interesting, but it's just like, why did I do it? Poor planning.
Honestly, I picked up a new game too, but it's not as impressive as yours, I guess.
What game did you pick up?
Have you heard of this wonderful game called Uma Musume Pretty Derby?
No, never.
Oh my goodness. It's just so the game is based off like real like race horses, but they turn them into like cute anime girls. I'm serious. They do this to like anything and everything now. It's so fun. I'm hooked on it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but bro, games are meant to have fun, what? Nothing wrong. It's always meant to be like that. Video games are created for enjoyment, not like getting upset about why you lose on FUT online.
Hell yeah. It's better than FUT, honestly.
Yeah, especially FUT. But speaking of FIFA, who is now EAFC, right? We are going to talk about the World Cup draw in our What's Going On. But before we do that, let's give a quick summary of basically what's going to happen today in today's episode.
Yep. First
of all, we have the World Cup draw. Then we have the fact that the league leaders Arsenal lost to Aston Villa in the last minute of this game. Horrific. Let's just call it horrific defending. And it wasn't great. And then Liverpool, after leading 2-0, draw the game 3-3. So in this situation, Liverpool fall further back. By Arsenal losing, City winning, right? City actually gain on Arsenal. So now, Man City 2 points behind in December.
Yes, sir.
Things might get actually interesting for all the non-Man City and Arsenal fans.
Yep.
See, will Arsenal bottle it again? But I think, right, before we get into that, right, I know, Ned, you got a lot to say about a certain someone later in the Liverpool game. So I'll give you time to do that later. But let's talk about the World Cup draw. Officially, the World Cup draw has already taken place. Now, before we get into today's episode, a special word from our sponsor.
Once again, we would like to thank SG Watch Hub for sponsoring this episode. SG Watch Hub is Singapore's one-stop platform for all things watches. Whether you're buying, selling, or just crazy about timepieces, SG Watch Hub connects you to sellers, retailers, and fellow collectors so you can find that perfect piece for your wrist. They've got you covered with a full range of services, from repairs and polishing to strap replacements, protective firms, watch winders, and even authentication to make sure your watch is 100% the real deal.
On top of that, SG Watch Hub offers brand partner promo codes so you can score special discounts on watches from different brands. And speaking of partners, they also work with amazing companies like Nomad Watchworks, a homegrown brand known for their premium straps and accessories. One of their biggest perks is that every leather strap you purchase from Nomad comes with free lifetime cleaning, so your watch doesn't just look stylish, it stays cared for too. Stay tuned on both the Chit podcast and SG Watch Hub Instagram pages because we'll be running a special giveaway sponsored by SG Watch Hub and Nomad Watchworks very soon. Trust us, you don't want to miss it.
So, if you love watches as much as we do, head over to sgwatchhub.sg and join the community. SG Watch Hub, bringing the world of watches to your fingertips. And now, back to the episode.
Just to take note for everybody, right? Not all the teams have qualified. Just to be fair, the draw has taken place. So whoever qualifies under the specific like location, let's say for example, right? There's one position in Group A which is belongs to either Czech Republic, Denmark, Denmark, Macedonia, whichever.
Or Ireland.
Whoever qualifies will take their position from those group of four
Correct.
from the playoff. So with that, let's just talk about the World Cup draw in our what's going on. So Ned, was there any surprises? Because I'm actually quite surprised there's no really difficult group overall. There's no in previous years there was always a group of death, but also because they added another 4 groups. Usually it was always a 32 team tournament, but then now it's a
48. Was it 48?
9 times 4 is 36.
46. 40.
36.
4, 5. Oh, okay. Oops.
No, 8 times 12. No, 8 times. No, sorry. 48.
48.
See,
right.
maths here. What was the maths here? It's 48. The usual default is 36.
36, correct.
Yes.
And then it goes into 16 and then so on and so forth.
Any major reactions? Because I do think that maybe because of the fact that there's more teams, maybe there was no group of death.
More even
just
out.
that naturally happened.
Well, you can sort of make the argument that Group A is the group of death in this case. I think that's the closest thing, at least, we have to a group of death. It's the most competitive, especially depending on who qualifies based on playoffs. So, okay, for those not in the know or don't have it on hand, like a reference, it's Mexico, South Africa, Korea, and either one of Czechia, Denmark, North Macedonia, or Ireland. I think if Denmark or Ireland go through, then easily, especially Denmark, probably the closest thing that we have to a group of death. But also very historically significant because Mexico South Africa was actually the first game of the 2010 World Cup, and now it's going to be the opening game of this World Cup. So it's the opposite hosting nations. I think it will be a really interesting watch. I still remember that Peter Drury moment, Shabalala, go all Africa, go South Africa, go all Africa. Very iconic commentary.
And I remember it was a very nice goal, right? It was a long
crazy.
It was a long road. Then it was because of the stupid Jabulani and the ball started just flying.
Yeah, crazy. No, I don't think it was that long range. It was still inside the box. It just was a very awkward angle, but he managed to get it in. So great goal, great opening match as well, I would say.
Yeah. But I think there's another one that. Do you see the reaction for the USA when they drew Australia? Everybody was super hyped that USA drew Australia because USA just beat Australia recently.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I think, but then again, that's probably going to be the only interesting match in that group because it's either Paraguay or then you have the other Group D. Group D's other possible nation will be one of either Kosovo, Romania, Slovakia, or Turkey, which I'm probably predicting Turkey goes through.
Yep.
They seem the strongest in that group, but hey, anything can happen. I want to bring your attention also to Group I. I think that's also another one. Closest thing to a group of death, but maybe not as competitive because of the last team that has not qualified yet. So Group I consists of France, Norway, Senegal, and one of either Bolivia, Iraq, or Suriname.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think these are the 3 groups I would say to look out for. But with the World Cup, every match and none of the matches can be blockbusters.
Yep,
it really
that's true.
I still remember watching the last World Cup. It was like, Uruguay, South Korea is going to be a crazy ass match. It turned out to be the worst match of the World Cup. 0-0 draw. Nothing happened. Goodness.
Hey, but it is like that. It's like games that you're just so hyped for, right? Then suddenly it's just so anticlimactic when the actual game actually happens. Because everybody just it's either everybody had a bad day or just everybody just decides to defend.
You win some or you lose some. I mean,
yeah, correct. It's like how to say you ever encounter matches where in the final, right? It's going to be the 2 best teams in the final, right? Then they just play not to lose.
Yeah, unfortunate. But well, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, you got any favorites to win this World Cup?
Favorites, I would say I'm tossing up between Spain and Germany. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Spain and Germany.
Yeah,
but why Germany though? Spain I can understand because Spain is the current defending Euro champions. But why Germany though?
Do you not watch the Spain versus Germany Euro 2024? Yeah. Did you not watch that match?
I watched a bit of it.
It was. Not really. I think it's probably the closest thing we got to a final.
It was the handball.
It was the handball incident. If not for that, I think easily Germany could have gone through. Honestly, Germany really played their heart out for this one. And I know they're facing a little bit of struggle, but I feel like I'm under Nagelsmann, and the setup that he has, Like they're doing pretty well. I would say they're strong contenders going in.
Yep.
If you're talking strong contenders, it'll be between England, Spain, Germany, maybe France. Norway looks
Yep.
pretty good as of right now, but that's
Yep.
that's on a European stage. Let's see if they can do it like worldwide.
Haaland is dominating World Cup qualifiers, but let's see whether he can do it really on like a World Cup stage.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because is like I think this is Norway's like first international tournament in a very long time.
It is. I think it's the first time they've qualified for the World Cup since the 80s, if I'm not wrong.
98?
98? Oh, yeah,
qualified
98. Sorry, yes, correct. That's the figure I was thinking about. I know there was an 8 in there somewhere.
But England being England, right? But side note, right? You know that they're doing like one BBC like document, biopic about Gareth Southgate in the national team.
Oh my god. Is this supposed to be a horror documentary or something?
I have no idea, bro. I think the actor is, I'm not mistaken, is Ralph Fiennes. But let me see. If I can find the photo here, I'll put it here. If not, I'll just tell you basically what's the actor.
Seriously, casted Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah, but we shall see. We shall see. If it really does happen, right, I won't be so, how to say that, like, upset, but I'll be intrigued.
I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked. Why Gareth Southgate of all things, of all people? I mean, yeah, we get it. Like he got to like 2 Euro finals and he got to a World Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
Was it semi-final? France?
Oh no, World Cup quarter.
Quarter-final. Okay, yeah.
But the Euro final lah, they got a 2.
They got a 2 Euro finals, 2020 and actually they got to back-to-back Euro finals.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they both faltered.
Yeah, they faltered at both.
Losing to Spain and losing to Italy lah.
I think the Italy one was a bit closer, but the Spain one really, like, we all knew, like, they were not.
No, there was no chance.
There was no chance. Spain were playing like a proper like club. They were playing like club football. It was not
Correct.
International football.
I think the Italy one was because it was at Wembley, if I'm not mistaken, and it gave them a bit more incentive because it's a bit more, how to say, like were home crowd, and probably maybe if you were to compare to Italy versus England, right, on paper, right, England had probably the better team. Italy just had a better defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's to me what I think basically was it for that particular final lah. So I mean that's what it is lah. So yes, the World Cup will take place next year. I'm hoping, right, it won't be a repeat of the Club World Cup because remember there were players that were just having like heat problems.
Yeah,
fans.
Goodness, it was terrible. Okay, but I guess in America the summers aren't as hot. Maybe like like USA, Mexico, and Canada.
Mexico's hot, bro.
I mean, yeah, fair enough, but we'll see.
I think it depends on which portions. I think it was biggest issue was the humidity in some of those areas. Yeah, so if Singapore had a World Cup, I think a lot of people probably may not be able to survive. Yeah. But we shall see, and we shall move on. So let's move on to the main segment of today, which is essentially just Premier League upsets lah. Arsenal lost.
Yeah,
2-1.
Crazy.
To Aston Villa. But I will say this lah, bro. And I think as much as Arsenal have been very good defensively this year, and we have stated it multiple times again, the reason why they're top of the table is because of defense, right? Wow, this game, their defending shambolic.
I think I'm not gonna give the excuse that they had 2 centre backs out. They did. It's very clear Uran Timber is no longer like a centre back, and Mikel Arteta has perfectly profiled him as a right back. It's so much clearer that he prefers that new position of his given to him. Who is the other centre back? Mosquera, was it?
Yep, Mosquera.
Okay, yeah, Mosquera. And I think this is also why, like, this is why he doesn't like really play Ben White anymore, because it's very clear he can't last the full 90 at the pace that Arteta demands of him. Yeah, what can I say? I don't think Arsenal was sloppy in that sense. I do think they played a decent game. Odegaard, for once, finally had a decent performance, trying to get back into that starting lineup. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. And it feels like Villa wanted it more this time. Ollie Watkins wasted a lot of chances. I'm not going to lie to you.
Agreed.
Ultimately, Villa wanted it more and they got it. 90+6.
And it's not like, say, that 5 or 6 minutes of extra time is uncommon now already. It's like kind of becoming the norm in comparison to last time it was 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But if we were to look at all the goals, right, that happened in this game, the way that Arsenal conceded both the goals, right, the Matty Cash one, right, honestly, it's very poor defending.
They forgot about him. It's crazy. They forgot about the right back. Like, he was left with so much space. He took the shot and unfortunately it went through the keeper's legs.
But my question was, where's the left back? Because Eze was on the left.
Yeah,
And
no, they're marking the wrong person. They're keeping your eyes on the wrong person. You could tell, like once the ball arrived to Betty Cash, it was too late. Once he took the shot, that's it. That's when the defender realized he turned. He realized, oh shit, we left him a mark.
Yep, correct. And you look at that in a perspective, right? It's very weird because you are not used to seeing Arsenal make this type of defensive mistake. Like you leave a guy wide open. It's not to say like it's a right winger or anything like that, right? It's just suddenly it's just a player that just left wide open and just happened to Betty Cash, and Betty Cash took his chance.
Yeah.
It's just poor defending.
They left a very informed Matty Cash to his devices, and then, unfortunately they paid the price for it.
Agreed. Even though yes, Villa scored right, the goal Villa conceded was also sloppy defending.
Overall, okay lah. I mean, we know Unai Emery, defense is not his strongest suit. He's very much an attacking coach. That's true. I think either last season or 2 seasons ago, Unai Emery had a track record of never finishing a game 0-0 until he met Sean Dyche's Everton at Goodison Park, where he drew 0-0. That was his first ever 0-0
Are you serious?
In the Premier League. Yeah. Unai Emery, whether he lost a game or he won a game, he had never gotten a result of 0-0 until he met Sean Dyche's Everton at Goodison Park. I think either last season or two seasons ago.
But Sean Dyche he's always known as a defensive coach. So
yeah, which is quite crazy. I mean, it's a crazy stat in itself that, you know, at least one goal was always scored in a game that Unai Emery played. He's more attacking minded in that sense. There was always going to be a chance of, like, you know, sloppy defending or conceding like a sloppy goal.
But in all essence, right, you could just move it down to it, right? The last minute goal by Buendia, right? Bro,
crazy.
I cannot resound this and say this enough, right? It's the same mistake that was similar to happen to the first goal, because it was basically a Villa player left wide open on the left side, and then after that, right, it was just a standard EAFC goal. It was a standard FIFA goal.
Honestly, like looking at that scene that led to the final goal, it felt like schoolboy football.
Yeah, I know, bro. It was
just everyone throwing their bodies at it until finally one shot goes in. Yeah, quite crazy. No one, like, everyone lost their heads.
No, everybody was like, okay, I just need to get it out. I just need to make sure the ball doesn't go into the net. It's like that was essentially.
Yeah, and then inversely, like, I just need to shoot. I need to shoot. And one lucky goal, it goes in, and they were right.
Yeah, and he just in the end when he struck it pure inside the foot. Then he just bent to the far side. Then he beat Raya. Then it's a goal already
Yeah.
Like what else can you say other than? Do you think Arsenal panicked?
I think they did. I genuinely think they did. I think everyone panicked at the moment. You can tell they all lost their heads. No one was like standing their ground, like properly trying to anticipate the shot. Everyone just throwing bodies at the shot. Not just Arsenal players. I mean, the Villa players also just going at it. It's quite an interesting scene now, but like it's very schoolboy football, and it's not something I expected of the Arsenal team. Granted, yes, it's a 90 plus 6 minute. You don't want to concede, and conceding means that you ultimately lose the game. Considering their track record this season, this is only their second loss in the PL. Yeah. So it's more so like the innate fight or flight reaction takes over, and you're not thinking about it. You concede. That's the way it goes. I mean, Villa just wanted it more, lah. Honestly, this game.
I agree. Because essentially, I think Arsenal. Okay, football players, you're not dumb, lah. Everybody knows that what's at stake is Arsenal had to win. Otherwise, they know that City could basically come in and drop something big on you already, man. Yeah. The fact that they couldn't do it, they couldn't hold the fort, they couldn't even get a point, and then they let City back in already, right? Shows that, okay, you all need to calm down a bit, because yes, you only had 2 losses, right? But the fact that you all had 2 losses, and I think City had more, but they're only 2 points behind you, already tells you a lot. Basically, is that it's not what it seems. Anything can happen, and especially we are talking about Man City in December.
That's when the turnaround comes. That's when Pep Guardiola.
Somehow, right? Like whatever squad it is, right? Even though we do agree this is not the best City squad in the past like 7-8 years. It's probably the worst City squad they've had in the past like 7-8 years. In terms of overall,
I would say last season.
Okay, similar.
No. This squad is like a lot better than last season.
Okay,
they had like deadweight in Gundogan, man. Like at least in this squad, right? There's not much, if any, deadweight.
Yeah.
Like last season, you could like pinpoint like who was the
deadweight, who was not deadweight, lah. Yeah, I mean fair point, but it's still not as good as the Centurion squad or like the treble winning squad, the ones that push Liverpool all the way to the end.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that it's Pep, so he can get the best out of his current group of players, right? And then they could go on a run that essentially comes down to whether you drop 1 or 2 games. If you draw that 1 or 2 games, essentially it flips. City win the title.
Pretty
They're not going to give it to you. Yeah, they're not going to give it to you. That's the track record of City, that what City has. So, Arsenal fans, y'all just made it interesting.
Brace yourselves.
Yes, y'all just made it interesting for everybody else to watch, right? Because it's now a 2-point gap at the top of the table. Aston Villa, in spite, yes, y'all wasted chances, right? Y'all still played pretty well. Similar amount of shots to Arsenal, everything went in right, and y'all scored when you all needed it, when it mattered the most. I think that's pretty much it, right? Now, moving on to Ellen Road, Leeds versus Liverpool. It was 2-0, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3. In the last minute, Liverpool dropped points again
Shambolic.
to Leeds
Shambolic.
United, right? And like I said earlier, poor defending, run your in, right? Bro, it is, I don't know, I got a few things I want to talk about this game, right? But let's just talk about the match first before we go into this whole thing, right? It's crazy. Like, y'all had a 2-goal lead.
Have you seen the
There
meme?
was no way y'all should have let Leeds back into this match.
Have you seen
at
the
all.
meme of like, lads, it's 20 minutes, don't do anything silly. And then it's a Sunday League game and the guy literally like 2 foot in the air, another player, not even going for the ball, just 2 foot his body in the air. That was how I felt when Konate committed the penalty. My goodness, Konate is playing like he's trying to get Arne Slot sacked. Honestly, like, dude, okay, it's on Arne Slot for constantly choosing to play Konate this season, as shambolic as he has been. Even he himself has admitted that, in his words, I quote, Konate has been at the scene of the crime more than once this season. And it's not wrong. It's the fact that he's not adapting and adjusting to it, and he's choosing to still play him over someone more stable like a Joe Gomez or a Wataru Endo. Oh my goodness, it's so shambolic. It's on both of them, honestly. Like, I thought choosing to pick him and then Konate committing schoolboy mistakes like that. It's 20 minutes. Why are you making stupid errors like no sliding in the box against someone?
Yeah, agreed.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what has happened to Konate over the summer. He's straight up lost his head. I know, like, there were links between him and Madrid at the beginning of summer saying that he was going to pull a Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he was getting his move away from Liverpool to Madrid on a free. But now that the news has come out that Madrid have told Liverpool that they're not even like planning to pursue him, I don't know. It's just like he's completely lost his head. I don't know what's happened to this man. It's not like he was bad. I would say like he was better than Saliba and Gabriel last season.
Yep.
Like, very easily, he was one of the best like duelists in the league. And now he's just like mistake after mistake after mistake. It's unfortunate that he's the biggest scapegoat now, but it's true because he's been at the scene of the crime. He's cost us a lot of goals and games over this run of games. Honestly, I think the only few players that can like really put their head up high are Wirtz, Szoboszlai, Ekitike. Really, they're the only ones who have been giving their all this season. Like, credit to Alisson also. No one talks about goalkeepers on the bad run of form because ultimately they lose the game and like the other ones conceding a goal. But Alisson, you can tell he's just trying to do everything that he can. Joe Gomez as well. For the minutes that he's been on the pitch, he's been decent. He's been giving those like 6, 7, 8 like ratings or performances.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that Slot just has his favourites and that's how he operates, and that he's never going to get a sniff if like his preferred players.
Can I just say this, right? Like, this was the problem I had with Ten Hag when he was at United. It was bro. I'm not saying that the United was a better team, but the patterns of behavior in terms of team selection, right, was similar. Like, me and Paul, one point both of us said, right, hey, you know what's the definition of insanity? Trying to do the same thing over and over and again, right, hoping it works. And there was a period where like he just somehow, right, he loved to play Rashford, he loved to play Garnacho, then he loved to play like Casemiro, who was horrible for that one period of time, right? And he always loved to somehow just put like Eriksen or whichever in the midfield, right? Then everything just slow. So it's like no matter what you do, right, you'll be like, the whole world can see that you are playing the wrong team, right? But why can't you? Like, you know, that type of like question marks that you always had.
You know what's the worst part? Arne Slot is justified in his choices because he's won the league with those choices. Choices.
That's
the very unfortunate part, and that's also why I'm also a bit delusional in backing Slot over anything else and giving him a bit more of the leeway compared to what you guys gave Ten Hag. Because yes, Ten Hag did bring you a Carabao Cup first season
and an FA Cup.
No, FA Cup was second season.
No, FA Cup was second season.
Yeah, FA Cup second season. So Carabao Cup first season.
Carabao Cup first season.
You know, like what are those two compared to a league title? So I'm a bit more delusional in giving him that chance.
No, it's fair. It's fair. Like it's fair because all of us said that. Like you always said, "Oh, I have brought you 2 trophies." And all the United fans, but not a league title. So
not
it's like
not UCL.
Yeah, so we understand, but just that if you're talking about behavioral patterns, like you remove trophies out of the equation, right? It's an identical behavior pattern problem.
It's a Dutch thing, lah. I think it's just Dutch stubbornness. Honestly, now we've seen it play out. I think it's Dutch stubbornness and Dutch.
It's Dutch stubbornness.
It's just Dutch behavior.
It's 100% Dutch stubbornness, right? But not taking anything away from Leeds. Like Leeds, they did play well. It's like you're saying, like they wanted to come back. They fought all the way back. I mean, any team you're essentially 2-0 down, right? You'll probably be like, okay, like I think we live to fight another day, guys. We just try. But then Leeds, okay, they fought back. Yeah. They did what they needed to do. They got their equalizer at the end of the game. But I think the biggest focal point here, right, is on one Mo Salah and the comments made after the game, in the fact that I think the rumors or what I heard, right, is that he's saying that could be his last. He could be leaving already, lah. Like, but within the January transfer window. So, Ned, I know you have thoughts on this, right? So please, I give the floor to you.
A lot of people I've been seeing on Twitter, Instagram, or wherever, they're trying to paint this situation as like a slot team Salah kind of thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think that's the right way to frame it. It's honestly like Team Liverpool or Team Salah. And if you're on Team Salah, I cannot okay, not that I don't respect you as a fan, but like I don't agree. So look, honestly, I understand why he did it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a superstar for the club. He feels entitled. He's done so much for these past years. No one is going to ever diminish his achievements that he's accomplished individually and for the club. This guy is a 2-time PL winner, 1-time UCL winner, 2-time Carabao Cup, 1-time FA Cup.
Yep.
He has matched his comparison in Eden Hazard in achievements.
Yep.
Don't say Eden Hazard Real Madrid. Let's be real. Those UCLs don't count for Eden Hazard. But genuinely, he has matched the people he's being compared to. He has matched Thierry Henry's legacy. He's matched Eden Hazard's legacy. Maybe he's not as good as Henry, but he should be in those conversations easily, solely based on the numbers that he's put up, and especially like the performance last season where he's like essentially dragged Liverpool to an EPL title. Yeah. I mean, the numbers that he's put up was insane. He should have broken Henry's record, but he dipped off at the second half of the season, where we are seeing the dip off follow him to this point, which is quite insane to me because it's never really happened. I mean, it's 8 years of consistently. Look, I think because of that, Salah has become his own worst enemy in that he's held to a high standard, and that consistency and that greatness to another player is just a normal season that's expected of Mo Salah. So the fact that this drastic of a drop-off has happened is only to the detrimental of him being viewed in such a way as a player. Look,
agreed.
I think I understand, I empathize with Salah on why he's made those comments. Whether I back it is no lah. There's in no universe can I back this.
Yep.
It's
I think right, bro. Maybe we just put it in the context. What exactly did are you not backing? Like, what exactly did Salah say?
I'm not backing the fact that he feels entitled to the position, to the fact that he should be starting every week. Yes,
understand.
You know, like, yeah. I mean, it's mainly that I don't feel he should be coming out to the media for these kind of comments. Yeah. Unfortunately, Carragher has been proven right in that Salah only comes out to the media when he wants something out of the club.
Yes.
Where, you know, good form, bad form of games, he doesn't talk to the media unless he wants a new contract or he wants a manager's sack. Like in this case, he probably wants Slot out. Look, it's unfortunate and it's disappointing, but we've always been known that Salah is a diva. Like even Klopp has indirectly admitted, like Salah that he's had to, you know, sort of baby Mane and sort of baby Salah because they are a bit more fragile of players, which is fine. and they're a bit less droppable in his eyes. He is a bit more man manager in that
Yeah.
sense. Slot is the opposite. Slot is very tactical, he's very ruthless.
Yeah.
And people can say, yeah, Slot has not been on the best of track records for this run of games. And while I do agree, dropping Salah has proven better actually for the club. He didn't play against Frankfurt. We won 5-1. We drew against Leeds. Yeah, it's not a win. We should have won. But, it's better than, the games that we were losing while Salah was starting and just ruining his legacy by that. I think it's better that Salah has been benched and come on as like a luxury player where he is a last minute sub. He can try and get something while he still has the legs to do so. Because it's very clear, like, Salah has completely dropped off this season. I don't get when fans say, Salah has not been bad enough to be benched for 3 games in a row and not come on for 2. Yes, he has. Look, I don't know why people are on Salah's side. Like, I get it, but at the same time, like, as a Liverpool fan, there's been multiple instances of like, bigger club figures like Shankly and King Kenny saying, no one is bigger than the club and no one should be bigger than the club. Okay. If it was, Ian Rush would still be playing striker for us.
Yes, agreed.
In this day and age. Even Alan Hansen, like on our league title before the drought, when the new season starts, everything resets. You are held to the same standard as you were when you first come in. Like everything resets. And that should be the way, especially in a club that wants to win everything. No one person should be bigger than the club. And I'm honestly very disappointed at Salah for making those comments because he's a senior player. When he first came in and Slot was giving interviews about his impressions on the players, Slot mentioned that, while I think everyone was away for the Euros at that point in time.
When he first came in,
international duty.
2024, Euros.
Yeah, either
all
Euros
and
Euros. Copa America, if I'm
Copa America.
Copa America and the Euros were happening at that point in time, and he had a limited amount of players. For goodness sake, he was playing Fabio Carvalho, he was playing Javier Elliott, and Mo Salah. There was no African competitions going on, so Mo Salah was pretty much the only senior player that was at the club. It was just him and like some academy players and some of the more fringe players. I remember this incident of him mentioning that once Salah had like put the football down and started packing up, like this more academy players started doing the same. And Slot pointed out to him and said, you are a senior figure here at the squad. People look to you and follow you by example.
Yep.
So the fact that he's been thrust upon this, sort of thinking or this sort of reputation by Slot, and the fact that he's gone on to make these comments, for goodness sake, even Dominic Soboslai 5 minutes before Salah went into neutral zone to go and find a reporter to talk to about this. It's like Dominic Soboslai specifically said to the media, what happens in the dressing room should stay in the dressing room.
Should stay in the dressing room.
Yeah, and it's such a stark comparison to 5 minutes later Salah does that, talks to some random Norwegian reporter about this. That's how he was just trying to get a message out there. He wasn't looking for anything.
He wasn't looking for just the normal Sky or BBC reporters,
or
whichever they're probably doing press.
Whoever wanted to talk, and that's how he just was fed up and done with it. No wait for formal process. Just
I agree. I think from my perspective as a United fan, right, I do wholeheartedly agree that no player is bigger than the club. Because as United, right, okay, I probably, a lot of other fans are, he's going to talk about old down memory lane with Sir Alex Ferguson time. I mean, technically the two biggest profile players that left and nobody was bigger than the club, well, 3 it was David Beckham, Roy Keane and Ruud van Nistelrooy. All had fallouts with the manager. All had issues with the boss. Beckham got sold to Real Madrid, and then Ferguson put his faith in Cristiano Ronaldo. Roy Keane got sold off to Celtic, if I'm not mistaken. Gary Neville became captain. The greatest captain for United is Roy Keane. In all of us, all think that way. Then he lost his captaincy. He kicked out his own captain from the squad. And then Ruud van Nistelrooy, who was going to be likelihood the next captain or the next their best goal scorer or their best player at a particular point in time, right, was put one side, right, because he had a falling out with the manager, and so let's put his faith in Wayne Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo. So it's not say that he's good enough to a point where what he has done. Yes, but the moment you're going to the media and you're causing problems for a club internally and there's friction, right? A manager has every single right to remove you. Whether like with Cristiano Ronaldo and Ten Hag, right? Me and Paul have already said our differences. Like, I do agree with what happened, but Paul also had a different matter because Cristiano Ronaldo is Cristiano Ronaldo. It's a different situation. But no player is bigger than club because no matter what, players retire. Liverpool will still be Liverpool 20, 30 years down the road. And it'll be a different set of players. So to say that you are bigger than the club is probably a very big understatement because Liverpool were big without you also.
Yeah. I mean, even in like, our Benta era where you were finishing 8th and like just not winning the PL for like 30 straight years, we still have players like, Steven Gerrard, the count. Daniel Egger. I mean, no one's bigger than the club. It's what you do for the club in your stint here that matters. And unfortunately, this taints Salah's legacy with the club. Whether this taints opinions on him from supporters is an entirely different matter, and it's remains to be seen. But for now, I don't back Salah on what he did for this situation ultimately.
Agreed. I also don't back because I feel that sometimes, especially with players, right, and teams, if one of you says whatever happens in the dressing room stays in the dressing room, just leave it at that. Don't do anything stupid. So we'll keep a monitor on the situation. The January transfer window is coming up. So whether Salah stays at Liverpool or not still remains to be seen. Let's just keep an eye on that. Moving on, we're going to talk about the match of the week, which is Crystal Palace versus Manchester City. Because the only reason why I picked this particular match as match of the week, right, is purely because of the influence it could have on the framing of the league table. Because Crystal Palace is not a hard team to play against. No, it's not an easy team to play against. Like they're not easy to play against. But
they're not unbeatable.
But Arsenal is playing Wolves, and I will say that the Arsenal Wolves game for Arsenal is a lot easier than Crystal Palace playing than it is for City playing Palace.
Wolves have 2 points.
I know, but the only club that probably could lose to them is playing them later, which is Manchester United. So
let's not count out Liverpool. Don't leave us out of this conversation.
Okay.
What do you mean?
But I'm just saying that it's like comparatively, if you're looking on paper, right, Arsenal should beat Wolves.
Yeah.
Relatively easy. Palace versus City, it can be a draw. There is a possibility.
Crystal Palace can win. I mean, this is a rerun of the FA Cup final.
Correct.
Last
exactly.
year.
So it could happen, but then again, they've been very sloppy recently, especially in the United game. It was just quite kind of messy with the way that they were defending, they were playing. Do you have any thoughts on this game? Look, and do you see that like maybe Crystal Palace could put a dent and probably do Arsenal a favor by letting them extend the gap back to maybe like 4, if let's say they draw, or maybe even 5.
Look, Oliver Glasner before the FA Cup final told Pep Guardiola, if you play the same setup, you are going to lose. Can you imagine telling one of the greatest managers of all time that if you play him again, he is going to lose, and you prove him right in an FA Cup final? Can you imagine the arrogance on that man, Oliver Glasner? I'm not a fan of like both teams' tactics. I've never been a fan of Glasner's tactics. I don't rate 3 at the back, but it's working for him. And he's won a Europa League final with that. He's won an FA Cup with that. I don't think it's gonna be blockbuster, but I think it'll be an interesting match to watch.
Yep.
I mean, even the FA Cup was a blockbuster, let's be real. Like 1-0, and it was just Crystal Palace holding on the whole time.
But sometimes in the final, nobody cares how you play. It's just whether you win or not.
You got to do what you got to do. And
you got to do what you got to do in the cup final.
And he did it against Pep Guardiola while telling Pep Guardiola like he was going to lose this final. That's crazy. Can you imagine telling that to someone who won a treble and won a Champions League at every single club he's been at? But
I will say this, City did miss a penalty in that final. So
they did, but can you imagine telling that to someone who has won a Champions League at every single club he's been at? Did he win with Bayern? No, he didn't. He didn't win with Bayern.
No. Yeah, he won at Barca and he won at City.
Yeah, but still Bayern dominance. Like he is why Bayern are at the place
dominant in the Bundesliga.
Yeah. So I don't think it'll be the most interesting match to watch. It won't be football candy. But I do think that the result could be something, right? Yeah, the result really could be something. And it could halt the momentum on City's run. I'm not gonna lie. There could be a very big turnaround here. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Alright. So predictions?
I'm going I'm going 2-1 Palace.
You're going to 1 Palace.
Going 2-1 Palace.
Okay.
Wait, is that Selhurst? Is that Selhurst or is that Etihad?
Is that Selhurst?
Selhurst, yeah, 2-1 Palace for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna go with 1-0 Man City.
1-0 Man City. Okay.
Because I just want the league title to be interesting.
Fair enough.
I don't want to have like a situation where it's like okay, the gap closed, then the gap open, then the gap closed again, and the gap open.
I mean, but that's the league. What I feel like that. In that sense, the league becomes infinitely more interesting. I mean, granted, that means Arsenal has a better chance at it. I feel like that's a more interesting outcome than like City win and then they go unbeaten for like the next 18 matches. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think it's because we've seen it all before. Yeah lah, but we shall see. So, with that, bro, you got anything else to add before we close off this episode?
Nope. I'm just gonna enjoy my vacation, and this might be my last appearance for football for Kakis until next year. So
yes.
we'll see.
So this probably will be next last episode of the year. So you'll see that. So with that is it for this week's episode of the Football Kaki. Alright, so that is it for this week's episode of the Football Kaki, brought to you by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, for those of you who are tuning in, we just want to say thank you, and we hope they continue to watch our other shows, which are the Copy Bros, where we have some fun interviews lined up for you every Monday. And then if you do like the news in a different light, we do have the Loud Sales Podcast every Friday, where we come together and talk about news in a fun and unique way. So with that, before we go, Nat, you have anything else to add?
Nope, it's been a fun 6 months. Here's to a new year with better football and hopefully Liverpool not losing so much.
Yeah, and a World Cup coming. And a World Cup coming. So with that, have a good week ahead. See you soon. For all my United fans, United at the time of recording, United have not played Wolves, but we shall see what happens. So see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.